Greetings, Gunship here. Today I want to talk about 1 million silver lions. Um, so why is that such a big question? Well, let's look at this in another way. I have been playing this game for about 7 years, and I have played a little bit of everything. So I thought it'd be useful just to see what stuff I've been doing. Yours is of course vastly different, but this is what I've been up to. So I don't know when I reached level 100, but many years ago. Regardless, realistic battles, as you can see, I've done about 10,000 of those, and I also, as many people do, started out with arcade and did a number of battles in that too, almost 6,000 in that, probably mostly from AB planes. Progressed to realistic like most other people, but enough about stats. If you look at tech trees, and as you can see, let's just have a little look at the US. Start with the army. As you can see, I managed to get, well, almost near the end, but plenty of holes in between. Helicopters, let's not talk about that. I do have the premium, I don't know how to fly these things. And aviation, done my fair bit here. But I'm getting to a place where I'm starting to struggle a little bit, mostly in the financial department. And that's where the 1 million lions, silver lions, start popping into my head. Now, I really don't want to play the F100D, but I have to pay that in order to get the plane that I really want. This is a Phantom. And to me that is just strange. Understand about progression and all the rest of it, but it's not like I'm going to leave tomorrow, and it's not like I haven't spent a lot of gold on gold plane, tanks, ships, etc. So why make it so hard? Inherently, I can understand that in order to keep players interested in the game, there has to be a little bit to strive for. You sort of want to go and get the next thing or the next tool or the next upgrade and so forth. And the system works, I think, reasonably well, assuming you got premium, and I had premium for 7 years. I tend to buy it in at least 1 or 2 year chunks at a time when it comes up at the sort of discounted price. But you end up with this mess in your hangar, so to speak, where you have lots of planes. I'm sure you have it like me, that you have researched, but hey, guess what? You haven't quite got the silver lions to pay for it and use it. And we all know, as soon as you get into a jet, well, crew training 300,000 or 290,000, and you also well know it, unless you want to be blacked out every time you turn the plane, you need to spend another 1 million silver lions on the same plane in order to expert the crew, because crew is what matters in this game. That is your pay to win. You definitely want to have a crew, generally about 50 for planes, if not 75, and more for tanks, and about 100 for a boat. But America had done reasonably well with Germany. Done my fair bit, as you see, many holes. And if you're anything like me that is an older player, you'll have all these things popping up in between, which is planes that came out after you start researching the tech tree. And then you end up with this, and with a bunch of planes that, yeah, you know, I got a couple of million in the bank. So you can say, what's my problem? Well, I know what my problem is, and that is there will come an update 2 or 2.1 in September, October time, and there'll be something that I really want. That it'll be a big thing, and it'll probably be a big ship or a big tank or a big boat, and or ship, should I say, and probably to get that I will burn most of that 2.4 million. So it's just sitting there as a saving. But it does mean that all these interesting planes like the Doe 335 could be quite good fun to play. I got another one there, by the way. Look at that. Um, just won't ever get around to because I just can't afford to buy them because I don't have the silver lines. And that's for a person that plays reasonably well. By all means, look up my stats, but I think that I'm at least at an average player. So why can't I enjoy what the game has to offer? Uh, you know, it seems silly here. This is one of the prime examples I got a pet hate about. Look about something like the MiG-15 bis. So I got that a long time ago, and it's a good plane, and I have it. But in the USSR, if you go down with the planes, let's scroll down the list. In order to get onto the MiG-17, I will have to buy the MiG-15. This I already got the 15 bis in the German tech tree, so why do I have to pay for it again? Okay, so I know here it's only 390,000 silver lines, but again, why is that? I have researched it, but you know, why should I pay for something that I already have in order to get to the next stage? Seems ludicrous. I don't have the golden answer to what Gaijin should do in order to improve this force, because maybe they just don't want to do that. Maybe they're in a lot of money from people, I don't know, buying silver lines maybe. I mean, do people do that? They probably can. Yeah, there you go, 3,000 golden eagle. Seems quite expensive, you know, to pay that amount of money. That's almost like you can go and get a decent other game for that kind of money. What, just to get you one step down the ladder in this game? That seems very pricey to me. Now maybe it's also just because they do a bit of an overhaul. When they first reduced rank 6, they did lower the cost of planes in rank 5 and down the line. But now there's so many vehicles in rank 6 that if I want to get the MiG-21 SMT, oh my goodness, how much is that going to cost me? Is that 4 million before I even get to it? Well, you know, assume I research it, of course. I mean, why do I have to get one before the other? You know, isn't it enough that we need to just get 5 in one rank before we can get to the next? Couldn't they just take away all those funny lines all over the place and just let people pick and choose the planes that they think, ooh, that one could be interesting to fly? Why do we have to have this, I must research the MiG-15 that I already have and buy it before I can get to another one? Seems silly. Anyway, guys, just going to complete this a little bit, but yes, just to show you in Great Britain it's the same thing. Got a few planes there. If I add them all together, it gave me 50 million silver lines straight off the bat. I could probably still have planes and tanks and ships that I need to buy. It seems a little bit skeevish, seems not quite balanced. And I don't think it's good for the players, and I don't think it's particularly good for Gaijin either. I think that the few people that goes and buy silver lines to get what plane or tank that they need instantaneously surely got to be far between, and there should be a better way of dealing with the rest of us, so we don't have to have such a grind to get to something that could be fun for us to play. I mean, I would love for Britain to play the Lightning F6. I know that it has mixed reviews and stuff like that. In order to get that, I have to buy the Javelin. This is rubbish by all accounts. Utterly pants. Other people might say otherwise, but that's certainly, it's just big and heavy and not something I would enjoy. Hunter F1, that took me long enough to get, because I didn't get it straight at the bat. I got it later, and it was a slog to get that. So in order to get the Phantom for the British, oh my goodness, I have to get through another Hunter. You gotta be kidding me. Not interested. So it's just annoying. I'm a long-term fan of the game. I'm not going to go anywhere. Of course, I'm still going to play War Thunder tomorrow, the day after, next year, and probably another 10 years from now. No doubt about that. But this irks me. It makes it harder than it needs to be. So do something. Let us pick and choose what we want to research, and by all means let us have to have a certain amount of vehicles before we can get to the next rank. But you now have such a big game, you are talking all over the place about 1500 different vehicles, tanks or whatever you can research in the game. That's great, but let's give us a bit more flexibility in what we choose. And I also think that 1,000,000 silver lions is quite a lot. I mean, a bit of goodwill, maybe just lower these to, let's say, 750,000. I don't think that would break the bank or break the gameplay or overnight do anything more than it would just make it a little bit easier. So that's my suggestion. Break down that 1,000,000 silver lion barrier, make it 750,000, and get rid of all these ugly lines to go from one place to another. I don't think you need them anymore. I think you're too big, you're too grown up. So that baby stuff, please remove it. Okay, that's all for now. Gunship over and out.